What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average educator that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. The purpose of today's video is going to be for educational purposes only. This is not to be used as a joke or any sort of anything less than education, okay? This is only for preparation for my modern Minutemen, okay? For defense, for maybe home defense or something of that nature, for my current serving pro Second Amendment, pro patriotism law enforcement officers, okay, professional law enforcement, as well as my active duty infantrymen, active duty artillerymen, any sort of combat arms MOS that has not received this class from your squad leader or platoon sergeant. This is just going to be a reminder to you, okay? If you have not received this block of instruction, obviously it'll be the first time you're hearing it. If you have received this block of instruction when you were a young private, well, I think it needs reminding, okay? I will give my background very, very briefly. I am dressed in kit just to kind of distract you a little bit from everything we're going to be talking about today, and to kind of lighten the mood. So if I look goofy in this tracksuit and the body armor that I'm wearing, it's to kind of distract you a little bit, because we're going to be talking about a heavy topic. My background: I've been active duty infantry for the past 11 years. I'm a senior non-commissioned officer. Nothing I say today will represent the Department of Defense. Nothing I say today will represent the Army. This is a class that I received when I was a private E2 in my first unit in the 173rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team in Grafenwehr, Germany, where I was serving as a rifleman when I received this class from my first platoon sergeant, okay? So the purpose of this class is just something to prepare you. No one will ever prepare you for a later life. The purpose of this class, and somebody in the comments will definitely say, just if you have experience or you have received this block of instruction before, just leave a thumbs up emoji. Or if you have, I don't want to get too deep down the rabbit hole, but if you have experience in this field, give a thumbs up emoji and try to help your brothers and sisters out in the comments. Realize the gravity of the situation and just help educate them. Remember that the forum that we're using for this will not appreciate this. They will not appreciate the message that I'm giving you today. So the only type of monetization that will occur from this will be through the Patreon channel. It's $5 a month. It gets you access to a Discord server where you can find buddies to train with and to game with, okay? That will be the only source of funding for this video due to, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's not going to receive any traction other than if you guys share it with a buddy that needs to hear it, okay? So now that we've established this, that this is for patriots that are fighting for pro-freedom in this country, okay? I just wanted to share a coin. This is the Henry Cairo Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, Fort Benning, Georgia, presented by the Commandant for Excellence. I'm going to start doing this more often, okay? Throughout my videos, I'm going to share a coin from my career. So yeah, here's a cool coin to share with you guys. I'm not really one for coins, but I figured I would share this with you guys because they just collect dust. So I'll start sharing more coins from my career. Okay, guys. Go ahead and grab your white monster or whatever you need to stay awake during this block of instruction. Again, this is going to be for purely educational purposes only. This is a class you should receive in the infantry, okay? Or if you're a cop, professional cop, you should receive this class very early on in your career to prepare you, okay? All right, guys. The purpose, we've already gone over the purpose, okay? This is to prepare you if this were to ever happen later in your life, okay? Define, taking the life of another human in defense of yourself. I say again, in defense of yourself. This is not legal advice, and this is not telling you to go do this in offense at all. This is only how to cope with the defensive aspect of what is on this whiteboard behind me. Story time. When I was a PV2, private grade 2, my first squad leader used to make all the new soldiers, the new privates, tell him at the end of every day how many things that we had killed, okay? Whether it be bugs, ants, insects, whatever. And the reason why was to slowly prepare and desensitize. And looking back, it was kind of cruel, but it kind of made, I understand the purpose. He was trying to prepare us for later life. He was trying to desensitize us and make us realize that it was just the course of reality. Okay, if you accidentally walked on ants or whatever, it was to prepare you. At one point, I had one of my buddies who had not killed anything that day, and he was just kind of laughed it off, which is not something you did when I first joined the Army. He laughed it off, and then that certain squad leader made my buddy go grab, I think it was a butterfly, and kill the butterfly in front of him, just to really hammer home the point. Now, do I feel like that was a necessary thing to do? I do not, but I understand where he was coming from, but I do not feel that that was an effective method of desensitization and realization. I think had I just received this class that I'm about to give you from him, it would have been much more effective, but I do understand the purpose. So I do not recommend that methodology of teaching. We'll get into these two things. Everything I referenced today can be referenced in the book On Killing by Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman. If you have not read On Combat or On Killing, I highly recommend you go over there and check out those two books, okay? They're excellent. Okay, we're going to talk about the 4 decisions. So let's say someone, for this particular case, we're going to say someone is breaking into your house, okay? So you have 4 decisions that you can make. And I just want to preface this. I don't want to see any gravitas or stupid comments. I know it's the internet, and I know people are gonna say what they're gonna say, but this is not to be a joking video. There are other videos that you can joke on and joke in the comments. This will be the one video that is going to be 0 tolerance. Okay, so I don't want to see any dumb comments or anything like that down below. It is supposed to be for purely educational purposes. So if you're thinking if it's funny but not related to this, that's fine. But if it's related to the topic of today and you're trying to make light of it, you will be removed from the channel very swiftly. Okay, the first decision you have is fight. That's pretty self-explanatory. Someone's breaking into your house and you have no way to get away at all. Okay, this is not legal advice. Well, your first option, you can fight. That means meet fire with fire and you can kill. If that's the decision you make, again, this is not legal advice, but that is just the first step in one of your decisions, okay, to fight. Then you have flight. Flight simply means you try to get away. Everyone is built different. That's why I recommend you read the book On Killing. Every human is different. You never know. You may have a buddy that thinks he's the baddest thing ever to walk the earth, and something may happen and he may shrivel up into a ball in the fetal position and not do anything, okay? So it's just, you need to realize the reason that it's flight is not because the people necessarily want to run. Now, it should be noted, a large portion of the human race is not capable of killing, okay? Even if it's in defense, even if they're about to be killed themselves, a very large portion of the human race is not even capable of doing it if they had to defend themselves, okay? It may be you. If you've never been in a situation and you may be watching this and it may be you. You may not realize it's you. You may be like, I would never try to run away. Trust me, it may be you. Number 3, posture. That means imagine you're in a rifle squad and you're being engaged directly by the enemy with small arms fire, pretending to shoot back, okay? But shooting over the heads of the enemy. Does that make sense? That is posturing. So maybe all your teammates are actually engaging the enemy, but you are just kind of shooting above their heads. Does that make sense? You're kind of dumping rounds where you know the enemy won't actually be affected. So that is called posturing. Happens more than you'd think, okay? Post down below, all my guys that invaded Iraq. How many guys postured during the invasion of Iraq, okay? Just post down below, because I know my Iraq vet guys, they have some crazy stories of posturing. Or if you're a law enforcement officer and you've seen another fellow officer posture, but you knew they were not capable of the act. Okay, guys, if you're enjoying the video, remember this will not be monetized. So the only way that I will be taken care of is through the Patreon, just a reminder. Number 4 is submit. That means you've chosen flight, but you can't get away, so you're just going to submit. Submit means you're just going to die there. Okay, even if you had the means to actually defend yourself, submit means you would just die there anyway. Okay, that is submitting. So in summary for those 4, you have fight, which is to kill, flight, which is to run, posture, which is to shoot over the head of the enemy or fake it, submit is to die. Okay. Let's say you unfortunately had to defend yourself, and you had to execute this task in defensive purposes only. Again, this is not legal advice. If you were forced to do it and you absolutely had to do it in defense of your own life because you were able to do it based on your state and local laws, well, there's some, or if you were downrange, okay, well, you might want to know how to cope with it rather than just putting a gun in your mouth, right? Because there's always ways to cope. And I do not recommend suicide, obviously. And if you're having thoughts and you ever need help, well, obviously you can reach out to me or reach out to any member of our community, and we'll help you through that if you are coping with this task, okay? This unfortunate situation. Okay, the coping with killing, okay? So part one, desensitize. What that means is you can desensitize the enemy, or if you're talking about it in terms of home invasion, oh, they're not humans, you know, they're just crackheads or whatever. They're just breaking into the house to do whatever nefarious acts, whether it be they want to take what's yours, they want to do horrible things to you and your family. You can desensitize them, okay? So that is the first method of coping. Now I will say this is only a short-term solution is desensitization, okay? Saying the enemy is not a real human, saying that whatever, they're animals, well, desensitizing only works for very, very, very short periods of time. Him or me, that's a situation where, okay, if I don't take his life in defense, then he's gonna take my life. Does that make sense? So it's either him or me. So you're saying if I don't do this in defense of myself, then he's going to do it to me. The attacker or the invader is going to do it to me. So that is another method. However, it's either him or me is also a very short-term coping method, okay? They will only last very short-term. So you can't use that your whole life. Most people, the average person will not be able to say, oh, it was either him or me, so I did it. That's not going to work long-term, okay? It's my duty. A lot of people can say it was my job. I was just doing my job. I was just there. I was just there to do the mission. I was there to do my job. Everyone else was doing it. So that's what I did. It was what we were there to do. We were legally supposed to do it. We were morally supposed to do it. It was in line with lawful orders. It's my duty. Again, that's only a very short-term solution. When I say short-term, I'm talking like 5 to 10 years, okay? So it was my duty. That will wear off over time. Okay, so it's my duty. Again, everything we're talking about today can be referenced in On Killing by Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, retired. Okay, my comrades. I did it in defense of my comrades. Okay, great. But that can go one of two ways. If your buddies didn't make it, now you're just going to be in this vengeful mindset the rest of your life. It's going to tear you apart. Okay. So saying I did it for my comrades, that's a short-term solution, short-term coping method. It will wear off over time. That's why it's not recommended. But any of these four are all can be utilized for short-term or to actually defend yourself and conduct this task if you're forced to do it. Okay. Again, this is not advocating for doing this. It's just helping you cope with it. Okay, guys, this is for educational purposes, helping you cope. Okay, so in summary, for those short-term desensitization of the enemy, it was either him or me, it's my duty, or my comrades. Then you have the last method. There's 7.8 billion humans in this world. The world isn't going to miss a couple. Okay, so I want you guys to think about that. There's 7.8 billion people. People die every day of disease. Good people die of disease, cancer. They die in car accidents. They die in ways that they did not deserve, right? Right now, just in the time you're watching this video, tons of awesome people unfortunately passed away. So that's something that should be noted. Now, in this certain scenario, we're talking about bad people, okay? Somebody that's doing something to you or your squad or you and your fellow officer on a routine traffic stop, or you and your family in your house when you're trying to defend yourself and defend your family. This person means you harm. They've made the moral the immoral decision, and it is in line with their poor ethics to try to kill you. Okay? So they have made the decision to be in the situation. If you are morally and legally in the correct stance of defending your life, there's 7.8 billion humans. The world is not going to miss the person trying to break into your house, trying to kill your partner, or trying to kill your squad. The world's not going to miss them. Okay? So if you choose this option in defense of yourself, just remember, yeah, they were an animal. It was either him or me. It was my duty, my comrades. I had to defend my comrades. But remember, there's 7.8 billion humans on this earth. That dude was, or gal was doing something that they literally chose. They wanted to harm innocent individuals, or if you're an officer, they wanted to harm a peace officer, or they wanted to kill a squad of soldiers, right? So they chose that fate. So you defending your squad, defending your partner, or defending your family, you didn't choose this. But guess what? There's 7.8 billion people on the earth. Nobody's gonna miss that dirtbag. Okay? If you enjoyed this message and you feel like a fellow partner, officer, soldier, sailor, Marine, airman needs to hear this message because your leadership has failed you and not taught you this lesson, well, share it with a buddy. If you have not read the book On Killing by Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, retired, okay, go check it out. He's a famous author. My favorite book from his is On Combat. But yeah, I highly recommend you check it out. Yeah, if you guys want to support this channel, consider becoming a member of the Patreon. It's only $5 a month, which is less than a cup of coffee a month. I intend to put out a video every single day of 2024. Keep in mind, I am a drill sergeant, so it's going to be busy, but my mission is to try to educate, okay? So if you want to support that mission, consider giving me $5 a month, and it gets you access to the Discord server, okay? All right, guys. One last reminder, don't be stupid in the comments. This is the one video I'm asking for everyone to be an adult, okay? Until next time, this is going to be Trench Grenade, your average educator, signing out. Cheers.